What if I told you owning just 100,000 Satoshi today, less than $65 could be your key to buying a home in the future? Sound crazy, right? But stick with me, because in the future, it might be your ticket to a new reality. In today's video, we're diving deep into why selling your Bitcoins or Satoshi may not even be necessary, and how Bitcoins is poised to suck in more wealth than we can imagine, from real estate to gold, pensions, and even more. You don't want to miss this. By the way, if you're new here, welcome. I'm all about helping regular people like you and me understand the futures of Bitcoin. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. All right, let's jump in. You see, Bitcoin is divisible down to 100 millionth of a Bitcoin. These are called Satoshis. Right now, 100,000 Satoshis might not seem like much, but what happens if Bitcoin does what it done in the past 10 times, 20 times, or even more? Think about it. As Bitcoin becomes more scarce, its value could skyrocket. One day, just 100,000 Satoshi could be equivalent to the down payment on a house, or heck, maybe even the whole house itself. Let's look at an example from history. In 2010, 10,000 Bitcoin bought 2 pizzas. Today, that same 10,000 Bitcoin could buy you a small country. All right, maybe not a country, but you get the point. What's stopping the same kinds of appreciation from happening in the future? This is why I'm telling you, don't sell your Bitcoin. Let the value rise and work for you. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin's magnetic pull on global wealth. There's a theory out there, one I happens to believe in, that Bitcoins will absorb wealth from everywhere: real estate, gold, pensions, you name it. And it makes a lot of sense. Now, take real estate, for example. Imagine you're a landlord with 3 or 4 rental properties. Yeah, the return can be decent, maybe 10 to 20% per year if you're lucky. But it's not all passive income, right? You're dealing with tenant maintenance costs, property taxes. One day the toilet breaks, next week the roof leaks. You're running around fixing things, and even when you're making money, it's a lot of work. Now compare that to Bitcoins. Once you hold it, it's yours. No maintenance, no tenants calling you at 2 o'clock because the heater out. Your return on Bitcoins could far outpace real estate. And the best part, no one can mess with it. It's like holding the ultimate asset that requires zero upkeep. Then there's gold. People have been using gold as store of values for thousands of years. But let's face it, gold is outdated in the digital age. Sure, it's hold value, but it's not practical. Now imagine you traveling with gold bar. First, good luck getting it through the airport security. If you don't have the right paperwork, it might be confiscated and you're stuck. Plus, gold is heavy and it's not easily divisible. But Bitcoin, it's borderless. You can carry millions or even billions of dollars worth of Bitcoins with just 12 or 24 words memorized it in your head. Cross any border, no question asked it. Try doing that with gold, and you'll see the difference real quick. And now, more and more, we're seeing traditional investors starting to wake up to the powers of Bitcoin. It's not just about price gains anymore. It's about convenience, liquidities, and freedoms. Let's be real. If you're a big-time real estate investor, why deal with all the hassle when you could park your wealth in Bitcoins and let it appreciate without lifting a finger? And the same goes for pensions. Right now, pension funds are tied up in traditional markets. But as Bitcoin continues to gain legitimacy, it wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing pensions being partially allocated into Bitcoin. After all, it's the only assets that truly deflationaries. So what's the takeaway here? If you own Bitcoins or even just a chunk of Satoshis, don't think of it as something you need to sell. Think of it as something you'll use. When the values of Bitcoin skyrockets, you'll be able to buy things directly with it or borrow against it without even needing to part with your precious Satoshis. One day, just holding your Bitcoins might be enough to live off the pensions alone without even having to sell a single sat. How do you see Bitcoin shaping the futures of wealth? Do you think it's going to outcompete real estate and gold? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from your thoughts. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to give this a like, share it with someone that needs to hear this, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also remember, this isn't financial advice. I'm just a regular guy sharing my thoughts on how Bitcoins could change the games for all of us. Always do your own research. Alright folks, thanks for sticking with me. Catch you in the next video. YouTube believe that you are like this video. Let's click on it if YouTube is right. Last word, hold tight, stack it right. Take care.